Welcome back, everyone. I thought it was about time for another one of these PSA random musing vlog type videos. It's been long enough, and yeah, so we're doing one. Before we get started, as always, the game in the background. Today is going to be Killing Floor 2. This is pretty much my game lately. It's oh so good, and just in terms of the shooting mechanics, the difficulty to skill ratio, I guess you could say, and just how tense things get and how insane everything is in this game. It's one of my favorites. It's pretty much certainly going to be my game of the year for this year, and it's the one that I'm playing the most right now. I'm starting us off on wave 7, which is when the dual flesh pounds appear, because this is when things really start to get hectic, and this is suicidal. So, yeah. The topic that we're going to talk about today is one that I've been thinking about quite a bit lately, because it's something that definitely is something that I deal with. So what we're talking about today is perfectionism. It's a little bit more abstract than our topic for last time, but maybe you'll find it interesting. Basically what I'm interested in is perfectionism as both an asset, but also as a weakness if it goes a little bit too far. So, let me basically explain what I mean by this. I consider myself to be, and have been told by other people, that I am definitely a perfectionist. So there are good things to this. You know, you basically don't accept putting in less than your best effort, and if you think that, you know, I could be doing more, you're going to do it. So that's, you know, that's a positive quality. It leads to good quality work, whether in hobbies, in the workplace, in art, in whatever. I consider myself to definitely be a detail-oriented person, so I look at the little things, and if the little things aren't there, then, you know, the big picture is not going to be there either. And I'm not into cutting corners, so, you know, those are all good qualities, right? I think the issue is when these things get taken to the extreme, which I tend to do. It's something that I kind of struggle with a little bit. Basically, if I look at something that I've done or made or been involved in, and it's less than perfect, which is sort of a, you know, a given. Nothing that you do is going to be perfect. There's always going to be something going on with it that's not ideal. But anyways, I tend to get, and maybe stressed out is the right word, or I just get upset when things go less than perfectly. It's something that I'm involved in, and that's when things get to be a negative. So, in the case that you are being too much of a perfectionist, you tend to be pretty hard on yourself when things don't go 100% correctly. Leads to you getting a little bit stressed out, and then it can also potentially lead to you not doing things because you know you're not going to do them perfectly. And that's when things start to become a problem. So, for me, you know, I like to think that, at least especially the videos I'm doing now, are of a pretty high quality, at least in terms of production values, and not a lot of mistakes in them and that sort of thing. Look how much of a bro I am, by the way, letting this guy take the armor. Not that I don't have tons of money, but anyways, I'm a good person, basically, is what I'm trying to say. You know, I like to think that my quality of videos and such is pretty good, and I apply that same kind of philosophy in areas like work and my other hobbies. I like to do my best, and I like for things to, you know, go well and end up well. The problem is that when things don't, like say I make a mistake in a video, or make a mistake at work, which, you know, things happen, whatever, nothing catastrophic. Even if it's something minor that's like, you know, whatever, super easily fixed, maybe do a retake on the video, or, you know, just whatever. I tend to get really stressed out, and this is something that I found is a real issue. Like, sometimes I just have to take a step back and be like, you know what, like, whatever, it's not a big deal, just do it over, or fix it and keep going. But going back to YouTube, like, there have been so many videos that I have scrapped after putting quite a bit of work into them just because they didn't turn out exactly how I intended. Specifically, like, episodes of when I was doing the Minecraft series, which, spoiler alert, something else may be happening with that, but I won't get into that right now. I would record entire episodes and then just look back at them and be like, you know, I don't really like the way such and such part turned out, and just completely scrap it. I've done playthroughs or half playthroughs or a couple full playthroughs of various games that I just scrapped because maybe I didn't like the general atmosphere, or I didn't feel they were entertaining enough. And, you know, on the one hand, that's potentially a good thing, because when I do make videos of whatever game it happens to be, then they're going to be as good as, you know, they could potentially be, as far as I'm concerned. Same thing with, you know, I run the guitar channel as well. If you want to check that out, feel free. I don't make any money on it, though, so, anyways, you know, I will sit there for hours, like, I'll sit there for an hour, basically, doing a 4-minute song until I think that I've gotten just the perfect take, which, if you play an instrument, you will know is actually really difficult. I mean, even playing a Ramones song and nailing the entire thing 100% is really, really hard. But I mean, I will sit there and, you know, play for an hour straight to get just that perfect take that I think is just right for the YouTube channel. Which is fine, because again, it creates good content that I'm proud of. But on the other hand, when things don't work out, you know, say I have a limited amount of time to work on these things. Just look at those entrails fly. So my Saturday, for instance, I spend a few hours on my Saturday. I record a couple songs for my music channel, but one particular song maybe eludes me that day. I get really down about it. Like, it really upsets me, and I start to be like, man, why am I so terrible? Should I even bother with this? And that's no good. That's perfectionism taken to an extreme that is unhealthy. I'm sure plenty of you deal with, you know, similar issues. Basically, it's at the risk of getting a little bit too personal here, it's something that, you know, I've just been working on. I love when you shoot the Scrake in the face and he just falls, legs fly over his head. It's awesome. Anyways, yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting at this time. So it's just something I've been thinking about, and something I've been trying to work on a little bit. You know, you kind of have to find a happy medium in these things. You know, do the best that you can do. Make sure you're putting in the correct amount of effort. You know, accept that mistakes will be made and deal with those mistakes as they happen. And that's really all you can do. You know, nothing's ever going to be perfect. So make it as perfect as possible. And if it is something like a YouTube video or a guitar cover, then, you know, maybe accept... Stupid stalker blocking my rocket. You know, maybe accept that today you just don't have it. Maybe you haven't practiced enough, maybe it's just not happening today. And so don't go to the opposite extreme and say, well, it's good enough, I'll just upload it anyway. Or don't go to the opposite extreme of that and say, well, fine, I'm just not going to do it then. I think that I think there's a happy medium to be found here, and it's definitely something that I've been working on, like I said. So, for the purposes of this one, I am interested in your thoughts on this issue. Do any of you deal with, you know, something similar? Obviously not all of you, all 10 of you that watch this video are going to be content creators, but maybe some of you are. But everybody has something that they do, be it a hobby, you know, your work, or, you know, whatever it may be. You could be a Dota player. You could be a carpenter. You could be a musician. Whatever. In some way, there's something that you like to do or enjoy doing, and sometimes it doesn't go the way that you want it to. So How do you guys feel about it? Is essentially what I'm getting at here. That's more or less it. So to recap, as we still have a few minutes left here on the footage, I'm going all the way through wave 10 because 10 is again a dual fleshbound wave, and that's fun. But to recap, basically we're looking at perfectionism. At what point is it an asset, and at what point does it get taken a little bit too far to where it becomes a weakness? Obviously there are positives and negatives to perfectionism as a concept. And then where is that happy medium? So yeah, that is more or less it. I honestly thought it would take me a little bit longer to get through this, so we can talk about Killing Floor a little bit more. I do plan to do another video on this game, at least another video. In fact, the Incinerate and Detonate update has been out for a little bit. Obviously the game is still in early access, but I mean, it's so good already. I think it's so good. Firebug and Demolitionist were the new additions this time around. Obviously I'm playing the Demolitionist in this particular video. Certain things need to be tweaked, however, it's in early access for a reason. It's mostly for the balance aspect, so I have no doubt this game is going to be even better than it currently is by the time it comes out. And now that this update has come out, I think it's finally at the point where even if you weren't a huge fan of the first one, it might be worth picking up. Before I said there's probably not enough content to justify it, but we have, I think, 6 maps now, and 7 classes. I think that's right. So there's a pretty good amount of stuff to do now. And they did say they are not resetting your perk levels when the game goes out of early access, so you're not going to have to worry about all your progress being lost or anything like that. So yeah, it's real good. On another note, I actually, during this match at the beginning, I was playing Firebug, hit level 25, so almost 25 with demo, but not quite yet as of the recording of this one. So I think, gotta love the lag there, that just throws off my rocket aim. But yeah, it's good, is basically what I'm getting at. So that's pretty much all I have to say about that. As with the previous one, I hope you guys did enjoy watching this video. This is a series that I've kind of been wanting to do for a long time. It goes back to the days of watching the old Scene Nanners videos before he started just doing like the 5-minute montages daily. I miss the old Scene Nanners, but whatever. Who am I to judge, right? So I always wanted to do something like this, so by all means, please do comment, let me know your thoughts. I'm also very much open to the idea of doing user-suggested topics. Just know that I'm not going to do politics, I'm not going to do religion, I'm not going to do anything like that, because that's too divisive. I'm not going to do Gamergate. But yeah, if you do have any ideas for topics that you might be interested in, it doesn't have to be something philosophical. I just love that when he just barrels over, getting shot in the face. You know, it could be something as specific as a particular game or something, or it could be something as general as, you know, like this, a concept such as perfectionism, or, you know, something broad and important sounding. So, yeah, that's more or less all I have to say about that. And, just wrecked that flesh pound. We have about, 14 enemies left, and I think we're going to be done here. In fact, I think I only cut this through wave 9, just for length. So, yep, that's pretty much it. Thank you very much for watching. I'll be doing another one of these sooner rather than later. And, yeah, that's more or less it. All those scrakes, though. I'll see you guys on the next one.